Hello, everyone. How are you today? So, we're going to talk about What Now? 90 Day Fiancé, Season 4, Episode 2, Reunions and Revelations. Okay, so first we see Avery and Omar, who were on last week. So, this is kind of just bringing back your memory, I guess, of what happened. So, we see them walking through this market in Beirut, and it's really pretty. It's a very beautiful place, and there's like fresh fruit and all kinds of nice things. And they go to sit down and talk, and he gives her this beautiful little ring. If you remember back when they met, he mailed her a small, just a little, little cute little ring from your heart, but now he replaced it with something a little better, and that's good for them. So then we go to Laura and Aladdin. And you remember Laura was 51 from Florida, living with her son. And I don't remember how they met online. I imagine everybody does. But he was 30, 29. So there's a good, age difference in there. She flies to meet him, and they decide to get married. And her son, of course, was not happy. He had seen his mom go through bad relationships, and he didn't think it was going to work. And it turns out he was right, but so when she moved there, they started having issues right away. And again, I think, she did not know the culture. He was Muslim from Tunisia, and they do not drink. And Laura likes her wine, so much so that she made it in their home, which is illegal. It could have got him in a lot of trouble. She stored the wine in a closet somewhere, and somehow it exploded all over his clothes. So that kind of got her in trouble with him. And then on national TV, he was a very proud person, and apparently took very good care of himself. But before she went over there, she went shopping and found this little purple toy, kind of like a microphone, but not. So he was embarrassed by that and walked out. And yeah, so all these little things kind of, snowballed. They did get married. It was a 3-day wedding, and she had her son come for that, even though he didn't have any faith in it whatsoever. He was just really rude to Aladdin, though, because, they went to the bathhouse, and he tried taking him around and introducing him to his family and whatever, and the kid was just like, so, big deal. So they have their 3-day wedding, and her son comes back to Florida, and when she gets invited to the tell-all, it is when Aladdin and her son are both there on monitors, and he tells her he wants a divorce. And she starts crying immediately. I mean, she's just devastated. She had no clue this was coming. Her son is laughing. I wouldn't. No matter what, I mean, you don't laugh at your mother when she's hurting like that. Not on national TV. If you want to, go to the back room, or you can go home and say, told you so, that's good enough. You don't have to just rub it in like that. But he did. And so that was kind of the end of that. And she was also, when she came back to Florida, her son was getting ready to move. He's going home to Canada. And she says that she's retired. She doesn't have the income to live in Canada. But you're living in Florida. I mean, how much worse can Canada be than Florida? So anyway, that's where we're at there, and, she's going to be sitting in an empty house until they come and throw her out, I guess. I don't know. So then we flip back to Lauren and Alexi, and we saw them last week. So this time around, though, when they are talking about the baby and her mom comes, they all want news on the gender reveal, which we saw last week, and mom isn't falling for it. She's not telling. But a nice little bit of culture history. Apparently on Lauren's side, the tradition is you do not bring baby things into the house before the baby is born. It's considered bad luck. She didn't even want the crib set up at this point in time. And so, Mom even said, we will do all this. We'll do the gender reveal. We'll do the baby showers. I'll keep everything at my house and wash it when the baby comes and bring it all. Which gave Lauren the opportunity then to ask if she would stay for a couple of weeks after the baby is born. And she was very happy to. She's ecstatic to, actually. So then we go to Ronald and Tiffany. Now, Tiffany had an 8-year-old son whom she had obviously pretty young, maybe 20. He's like 8. So, and she meets Ronald from South Africa. And she goes there to see him, and, they fall in love. And then she finds out he has a gambling addiction. And he has quite a criminal history of burglary and things like that, where he cannot come to the United States. So she decides to take her son to South Africa. Of course, she gets pregnant, and while they're there, her son isn't real happy. I mean, the playground isn't what he's used to. He has no friends, no family to speak of, except for them. And then they tour the hospital, and she wasn't happy with that either, and decides that for the birth of this baby, she's going to go home, which she does. So the baby is born, and they, try to parent over FaceTime and whatnot, and videos and things, and she's not happy about that either. So she decides to go back. She says, we need to be together somewhere or other, So she travels back to South Africa with the kids. Then we go to Stephen and Olga again. And this basically, they just showed again where, her and the baby were getting off the plane, and Stephen was there to meet them with flowers, and, how much they care about each other, which is really sweet. And they leave, and then, it announces that he tells everyone that they have to get married now in 90 days or she gets deported. Well, 60 days in, they got married, and they had a nice picture of them with their marriage certificate. So, good deal. As far as I know, they're still together. So, then we go back to Laura and Liam having their yard sale. And, she says that Aladdin has already started the divorce proceedings, and he says, maybe you should get an attorney, And here's this kid that's like 21, 22, and he's giving his mother, who's 50-something, advice on how to handle this stuff, and she should know this stuff. Who's the parent and who's the child? Anyway, she agrees with that, decides she will do that. And then he says, he needs to move on with his life. He wants to move back to Canada where he has family and friends. And, and tells her she could move back there too and live with Grandma, which I guess was her mom. And I don't want to live with my mom. Well, it beats living in the street, okay? So, take your pick. But anyway, she does go to see an attorney to see about what she needs to do to get out of this marriage that is no more. And Tiffany goes to South Africa. She tells her mom. Her mom isn't happy. But, she's going to do it anyway. Her mom's just worried that, he'll backslide on his addiction and be gambling, and they won't have money, and they won't have a home, and so on. And that's the chances you take, Anyway, the last thing we see is the gender reveal, and it is revealed that they are having a little boy, which we all know by now. But, it was still a fun show. It was still interesting to see what has happened to these couples since they were on the show of 90 Day Fiancé. And, some of it was pretty crazy. So, that basically summed that one up, and I will see you next time. So, please like, share, subscribe. Don't forget, you can spill the tea, but don't drop the coffee. Thank you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.